Good afternoon, my friends, and welcome to another episode of Tony Talks and Get Up and Grow. After a 2-week hiatus, we are back with our live shows. I had to take a business trip, and it was just timing didn't allow. So welcome, like I said, today we've got episode 127 of Tony Talks and Get Up and Grow. And today, as always, I'm having conversations with inspirational leaders, influencers, and change makers, people that aren't just doing well in life, but are also doing good in the world by giving back to their families, to their friends, to their communities, and to the world by sharing their knowledge, sharing their wealth of experience, and sometimes even their network. So the person that we have today is an amazing woman from down under. That's right. We've got Linda Evenden from Australia. Linda is a wife, a mom, as they say, a speaker, a life strategist, and her passion is helping people supercharge their dreams with heart and courage and live their masterpiece life. Linda is also the CEO and founder of Heart Driven Women. And Linda's just an amazing soul. I've had the opportunity to have several conversations with her and also be on her podcast. So here she is. Without further ado, it is the one and only Linda. How are you?
Good morning. It's tomorrow over in Australia.
That's right. It's already tomorrow. How does the future look?
I am Marty McFly. It's fantastic. It's a great day here already. Get excited for tomorrow.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm always excited for tomorrow. Well, usually. Sometimes you're like, tomorrow's going to not be so good. But, for the most part, listen, another day above ground is always a great day.
It's a wonderful belief. I know it.
It's absolutely. Listen, the alternative is not very good. So how have you been, Linda? And how's
fantastic. Yeah. I've enjoyed this time of more family, more connection, the kind of forced slowing down to reevaluate things. I love talking about schedules and calendars and maximizing things. And I thought that I was all over it, but I really learned even so much more during this time.
Oh, that's great, because it has been an opportunity to learn, and I know that a lot of people have taken that opportunity to learn and to grow, and that's not judgment on anyone. Everyone goes at their own pace and does their own thing. But yeah, it has been a great opportunity to expand your horizons if you chose to reconnect with family and friends, reconnect with self. Start some new rituals of gratitude and meditation, and so many things that so many people have done to improve themselves and who and where they are. And I know that we have kind of a limited time with you today, so I don't want to deviate too much from what we'd like to talk about, because you are a master scheduler. You are a master of that rapid planning method and time blocking and chunking and everything else. So we are going to be speaking about that and teaching on that today. And I look forward to listening and learning. I've got my pencil and my, I do have a pencil. I don't know why I don't have a pen, but today I will be writing in pencil. My iPad is dead and I didn't plug it in. So, but before that, just tell us a little bit about you. Obviously, we know you're in Australia. Are you in Sydney or where are you?
I'm on the Gold Coast, it's just a gorgeous part of the world. It's beautiful. We have lakes, oceans. We look out to a few little mountains here, and it's paradise. It's literally called Surfers Paradise, is one of the main suburbs. So it's beautiful. And I'm a mum of 3 kids. There they are. They're a little bit younger back then. And I'm a wife. And amongst other things, I really do love empowering women is one of my biggest passions.
Oh, fantastic. Well, listen, today we're going to empower everyone, not just women, but men alike. Certainly, like I said, I've enjoyed having our conversations and our exchanges, and I look forward to what we're going to be covering today. So, take it from here. Tell us.
Let's do it. I love to start with, the one area. I love how we can really transform areas from things that we avoid, that we don't like, into it's often the treasure trove that's going to set us free or take us to the next level. We're kind of unlocking a different magic. And for me, that was scheduling. I was almost like a time commitment phobe. I look back and I had a real problem with this. I would commit to the very minimum and I would fly by the seat of my pants. So I had a strong identity that did serve me for many years of I want to be free. I don't want to be scheduled. I've set up this dream life, my work from home, so I don't have to be behind the desk anymore and tied to other people. And you can get away with that to a certain point. And I was well past that certain point. And I knew it. And I knew that to change anything in your life, you have to change your belief around it. Usually you've got a belief that's not serving you, which is why you hang on to it. And also you've got to get really honest with what's it costing you. And when I could really begin to just take a quick look at, well, what is this costing me? Flying by the seat of my pants. Am I really being spontaneous? Am I really squeezing all the juice out of life? No, I'm actually consistently pretty stressed and overwhelmed because I'm still juggling. I call it the juggle struggle, which is very real. I'm still juggling so many different roles and I don't feel I'm really winning at any of them. And so I did become curious about, well, if I was a part-time scheduler, maybe that would help if I didn't have to schedule everything. So my first fear around it, Tony, was I was going to be hyper-scheduled. I don't know why, because I never have. Well, I have been before and it was stressful. So I have been hyper-scheduled in the past. I had a painful reference to it and I thought, I don't want to go back to that. So what I'm going to tell you right now is the most important thing about this scheduling that I teach is that you get to do it your way, and it's art and it's science, and you get to fix and refine. It's flexible. It's totally flexible. And in fact, there's so much freedom in it because what you're going to do is buy back so many hours that are just like fading away on the scroll hole in social media. Maybe it's out taking trips to the shops. There's so many inefficiencies in our time across life. So step one is kind of the time inventory, the time audit, where you're looking at your life, you're looking at the wheel of life, and you're saying which area is neglected, which one's pretty low. So really quickly, if you can imagine, imagine me drawing a wheel right now and it has 6 parts of the pie, okay? And let's just say there's 6 major areas of your life. There's career, whatever way that maybe you call it purpose. There's career, there's finances, your financial life. There's your spiritual life. That could be whatever that is to you. That could be connection with self. That could be self-love. Now, I'm going to put this little doozy in here because when I did this, I'd never seen self-love in one of the pie pieces, Tony. And it was a sneaky little bugger that hit me like a ton of bricks. Relationships I'm great at, right? So I could give myself a good solid 6 or 7. But when it was called self-love, I was like, oh, gosh, do I have to put that one even on there? And let me see what else we've got. Let's put that to the side in case you're feeling like I was. Then we've got, family. Maybe family is one of your big areas of life that you value the most. These are your values. If you're young and working and single, it might be their health and vitality is a good one to put in there. What am I missing? Relationships, career. It might be intimate relationships, like your marriage. You might get very specific here. And so once you look at these areas and you give yourself a gut instinct, just be honest, be true, because once we shine the spotlight of truth on it, we can change it. But if we're telling ourselves stories, we're powerless to change it. So I want you to look around the wheel really quickly and you're like, where am I at out of 10? If 10 is I'm just crushing, I'm nailing it every day, I feel so in alignment in this area, I'm right on track. And if 0 is I barely have a pulse in this area, let's be honest, mark yourself, 0 to 10 in there.
Right.
And it was at this exact time, Tony, that I saw self-love. I was like, oh my God, I don't even know if I'm on here. I remember the feeling. I could barely catch a breath. My heart felt so sad. I was actually just sad sad with this realization of how did I let it get to this? I need to be back on my list. Like I remember being very caught up with a big emotion. And on the other side of it, just going, wow, if I'm honest, it's maybe a 2. That would be generous. And, career, yes, no surprises, because we often nail and are crushing 2 to 3 areas really well. And we have for years, because we focus on that area. We naturally focus on that area. We're good at it. They're like our pets. We love it. It's just easy in those areas. They're a consistent 6, 7, or 8. What I'm interested in is your other areas of the wheel that are lower than you want them to be, if you're really honest and you check in. And have the courage to just take a quick look around and start assessing, why is that? Why don't I even have any self-love? The answers will come flooding in. And what I then love to do is, Tony Robbins teaches us that if it's scheduled, it's real. Until then, it's a wish, a hope, a dream, a thought, a nice to do, a should. And I had a lot of shoulds in life because I didn't schedule anything, remember? Only meetings that I didn't really want to be at. So I flipped this belief that if I master my time, I'm going to squeeze all the juice out of life. I'm going to stop wasting time. I'm going to start being like in Einstein time. I'm going to start bending time to do all that I want to achieve and create. So I came up with some new beliefs around time. And for me, if you make it fun and colorful and it's something different in the schedule, well, then I've got a much better chance of loving it more. So I knew that I had to bring fun to scheduling. So that's the next part of what I think is really important and what I wanted to teach you guys is now that you've got your wheel list, I want you to put there next to what the real number is, what you'd like it to be, what you think is achievable, realistic, that feels good in your gut of, relationships. If I look at this, my relationship with some of my friends as a friend, I am not really taking time out there. I suck at that. That hasn't been good lately. I want that to be a 7, and I'm at a 3 at the moment. And then you can actually, it's so cool. It's just a meter. It's a scale. And then you ask yourself, okay, Linda, okay, Tony, what do I need to do to take this from, a 4 to a 7? What kind of things would I need to start doing? Capture some of those ideas. Same with finances is always a big one, right? If finances for you is consistently a 3 or a 4, then chances are you're not that happy with your bank account. You're not that certain when your head hits the pillow at night. And you probably have some pretty crappy beliefs that are in the driver's seat. Yeah. And the good news, my friend, is we can change it. We can change it. We can come up with some amazing beliefs for you around abundance and money. And we can come up with an amazing new identity for you around money and finances. So true story, my husband and I, we have an incredible marriage. We grew up in very different backgrounds in our wealth mindset. And so that's been something that we've always had to work on over the years in our marriage. And I'm the, let's just go get it and figure it out and pay for it later. And James is the, oh no, we're not getting that. We have to pay for this and this and this and this and this. So it's been a good mix, right? So thankfully, both of us aren't exactly the same. And it's often in marriages. One is let's go do it. And one is, oh, hang on a minute. It's usually how it goes. What this process has done for me is it forced me to go, I need to take responsibility in finance. I need to stop going, that's his job. And when I'm not happy about it, blame him, criticize him, tell him off, I don't want that way. It allowed me to go, if I want our finances to be a 9 or a 10, which felt good to me, I really have to create a personality and I have to create time in my schedule where I'm making this important and I'm focusing on it. Instead of, the old belief was, I'm not a numbers girl. He does that. I don't like that. I just like to make it and spend it over here. So I really had to rework that too. So that's been actually a fun area and oftentimes very challenging area for he and I to work on. But it changed so much when we schedule our wizardry time. I call it the wealth wizardry time. Every Friday morning for 1 hour, we do the Masterpiece Life, and then we do Financial Wizardry. The Masterpiece Life is 1 hour of us looking at our schedules. It seems a lot, but guess what? It buys us back, I would say, 5 to 10 hours a week that we don't waste. Because we say yes to the most important things. Here's our top 3 one-year goals. Here's our family goals. Here's our parenting goals. Here's our marriage values. We know where we want to go. We know where we're at. And the boundaries are what creates so much clarity. So then when you're looking at all these things that are going to, life is going to come, distractions are going to come every single day, right?
Absolutely.
If you don't protect your time like a warrior princess or warrior king, if you do not protect your time, everyone else is going to take it. It is bleeding out all over the place all day. Anyone can ring you. Anyone can knock on your door. You can be taken off path like that.
So true.
That was my leverage, Tony, because I didn't want to be that person. I wanted to be someone who was very directed and very certain and on track with their time. And let's face it, it is our most precious commodity. We're never getting it back. Right. So in this process, Tony, I learned that I probably had a pretty low cap on what I valued my hourly rate, because I was giving it to everyone all over the place.
For nothing.
So this is where my mindset went up. My hourly rate that I was comfortable with went up. And I started protecting my diary as if, well, am I really, if I'm, 600 an hour right now, then am I really going to stand in the hallway and talk to this person for 45 minutes? No, I'm not going to, because it's not moving me closer to my top 3 one-year goals. And I might have done that in the past to be a nice person, so they don't judge me, so they think that I'm nice, right? So I really had to tighten up a lot of time wasting. Also, things like, this is so simple, but if you're not having your groceries delivered online, and this is just the most unbelievable boon of this century, that someone goes and collects my groceries from my master list. I have 3 master lists that I set up one time for probably 1 hour each. And now every week I go in there and I click, I add a few things, I take off a few things. So I can do my weekly planned groceries in about 20 minutes instead of 2 hours it used to take me. Get in the car, go to the store, buy all the things that you don't want on impulse, pack it back into the car, get distracted on, I wanted to have that for dinner, but now I might have that. And just decisions are killing your time. We make way too many decisions every day. So this minimizes it. The meals are planned. You're not overspending. You're sticking on budget. Like, I could go on and on about this, but a guy, he's like an angel. He delivers my groceries to my bench. Like, he comes all the way down the hallway to my bench, and magically I've just got back 2 hours of my time every week. And I know what my time is worth. So there's a few hints in there about, are you valuing your time? Let's get real. Are you assessing your time? So time inventory and time auditing is so important. So with our remaining time, I want to plant a seed of possibility here about how I then took part of Tony Robbins' teaching, which is like identities, categories of your life to thrive in. And to come up with, a name for that makes you, so instead of finances, which is so low vibe for me, it's like, budget, fighting, there's not enough bank accounts, numbers. Wealth wizardry was like, that's got magic, it's got possibility, I'm resourceful, I'm abundant, I want to schedule a wealth wizard. And so now, just with that switch of name and emotion, and I come to that meeting differently because I've created a personality that serves me there. I think a powerful example that I know a lot of women can relate to, and definitely some men, is the self-care and the self-love category. I did not have a personality that I could schedule that would love herself, that would actually take time for herself above everyone else, like me first. I had no kind of part of my life where I could be her. So I had to create her. I had to go, you know, who do I need to be to block off pink time? So I make it fun. I color code all these personalities. So that's my pink time. And you know what? I just asked a great question. You'll always get a great answer. When did I know how to love myself? When did I know just to do as I pleased and it didn't matter about anyone else? I just knew. I knew how to fill my cup and have fun. That's me when I'm 7. Oh my God, that's cartwheels, that's the swing, that's imagination, that's just playing outside for hours, that's horse riding, you know, that's swimming. And so I had a nickname then that my dad called me. Lindy Lou was an affectionate nickname, and this is fun to play with for everyone. So I schedule that. I call on her. She knows exactly what to do. When we block out, you know, an hour of pink time 2 times a week, she knows what to do. She knows the question to ask. She's got a joy menu, and she doesn't have to justify that any longer. Now, your new schedule, my friends, can be tested because people don't like change. Even some of your family might resist this. My husband, bless him, when I was scheduling pink time, hair, nails, this, that, he couldn't help it. Sometimes he was like, really? Again? The hair? The nails? And I would just be like, because I have a warrior personality too, like, don't mess with this, buddy. It's good for me, and what's good for me is good for you. If my cup is empty, we all pay the price. Right. This is loving me. I want you to support me. Will you do that? Of course. So your time is going to reflect your highest priorities, and you're going to schedule it in advance. So the focus is already locked in.
I agree with that. You know, they say all the time as well, even vacations, time off, you need to put it in your schedule and protect it, because, you know, that mental maintenance is essential for that. So, yeah.
So do you get the concept, Tony? What I'm doing is I'm taking the wheel of life, and if I've got lots of 8s in there, then I just do what I keep doing. Just schedule the things as I normally do, because those areas in life are rocking. Keep them rocking. Find the gaps and start giving them focus. Give them the attention that they deserve. And often, my friends, it's half an hour. I am so wildly productive now in half-hour chunks because I actually play a game with myself. If I've scheduled an hour to, you know, do a creative new project, this has brought so much new space for me to do all of the list of things that, I dream of one day. And this is why I started Heart Driven Women, which is all about contribution and working with Free a Girl, freeing young girls from sex slavery. I wouldn't have done that otherwise because I'm too busy. That's nice to do. One day I'll do that. I created a personality around it, and I created the time, and I created a sisterhood of other women who want to carve out this time for giving back as well and fulfilling our cups. That's
amazing, because you're right. It fills your cup. It works in a lot of other circles. You think it only improves one circle. The reality of it is it doesn't. One of the things that I like to tell people about, so when you create your wheel and you give it the numbers, you know, you should really shade it in and then look at it to see what that wheel is like.
Yes, and then you see what kind of shape your wheel is in.
Right. Well, now imagine getting 4 of those wheels and putting them on a car. How's that car going to run? Now, all of that is all fine and dandy, but here's what people don't, here's where I take that a little further. I take that story a little further. As the wheels spin and it goes clunk and it hits the pavement, what happens? Does it just keep spinning and clunk, 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 clunk? Yes. And every time it hits, boom, it breaks off a piece of what you had an 8 on.
Yeah.
Now, next time around, it's only 7.5, and it breaks off another chunk, and now it's 7. Because what winds up happening as the wheel turns, it doesn't fill in the gap. It actually breaks the pieces off of what's good and brings it down to the lowest common denominator of what's bad.
Yeah.
So if you don't focus on that one piece of your life, so for example, if all the other 5 parts, family, career, finances, spiritual, self-love, all of that is great, but you pay 0 attention to your health, and that's a 2, guess what? when your health starts going down, your family pays the price, your job pays the price, your finances start to get, your spirituality starts to come apart, your self-love starts to become self-loathing. So you break down to the lowest number.
It's those saboteurs, it's those silent saboteurs that every morning you wake up and you're not into integrity in your health and vitality.
Right.
You are playing a little beat up game. There is a silent cost that's pretty deadly there.
Absolutely. Sure. I equate it to every time the wheel goes around and hits that pavement and you go kunk, that's actually chipping away at what is good in your life.
Yeah.
So you need to pay attention to make that. Listen, there is no, I think balance is a fallacy, right? There's, even the scales of justice, a scale is just on a pinpoint, right? So just one little thing will teeter it. To say that your life is perfectly balanced, you're imbalanced. If you really believe your life is perfectly balanced. So the idea is to try to get some semblance of balance, right? Have that wheel kind of round enough, that way you're always working on keeping it round. Okay, now this one, this slice of the pie is weak. So while it's turning around, you're going down the road, you're not driving 100 miles an hour, right? Your days are going like this, right? So as your days are going and you see that you're about to hit, maybe you pay a little attention, you put a little plaster, a little putty in there to make that smoother. And that just coming around, you see it's about to come, let me give a little bit of attention. And eventually you're going to have a somewhat round wheel, and life is going to feel comfortable and feel like it's in balance, even if it's not 100%. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that in because that's.
And let's talk. Health and vitality is probably the other big section that a lot of people can be challenged with consistently. It was definitely tied up with my self-love, that the gym was just not as important. And so really working through that, it's because I made it all too hard. Health and vitality was too hard. I had the martyr syndrome. We all have saboteurs. We all have backseat drivers that show up too. So we've got great personalities for service. There's some saboteurs as well. And, for me, I had the martyr who was so, attached to doing everything for everyone else, and there's nothing left for me, and poor me. And that's literally why I wasn't having self-love and exercising. But the martyr only shows up in my life when I'm not doing those things. So that was my big realization. If she's like creeping around in my head. So if I notice her reappear and I say some of the, this is my cross to bear, no one understands me, I have to do everything. If I hear some of that starting, I'm like, I need a massage. I need to go, do double pink time this week. A lot of us women, we grew up with mothers who were just the most amazing, giant-hearted carers who did give everything, and we learned a model of to be a good person, maybe I have to give everything, and it's not true. So with health and vitality, you want to get very attached to same thing. What's a really healthy belief for you about you deserving your best body? What vision can you create for you around your own health and vitality, and start scheduling it? So instead of all I do is schedule green time. So then on the day, for me, I can do whatever that helps my health and vitality. I can drink water and stretch. Done. Like, set up the rules of the game so it's easy. Green time is me ordering the detox juices that magically someone brings to my door again. That's me loving myself. That's me, honoring my body temple. That's me every day when I drink water, when I take my great sups, when I do some deep breathing, when I do meditation, that's my health and vitality. So every day I'm winning in some way there. So take off that big, hard and fast rules that you're only healthy when you weigh this, when you go to the gym this many times, and that's when we get caught out, when we make it too hard.
I agree with that 1,000%. We're too hard on ourselves and we make things too difficult, and then we wonder why we don't do it. And then when we're doing it, we don't reward ourselves after we do it, which so starts a vicious cycle all over again, right? It's that crazy 8 that we run.
And so just to finish up, Tony, this is the magic of scheduling chunks and time blocks. I kind of I use the metaphor of hats. We wear many hats. I'm a wife, I'm a mum, I'm, it's coach time. I'm a cheerleader because I'm cheering people on, not with streamers, but, in their work life. What else roles do I play? I'm a vitality vixen. I'm a wealth wizard. I have all of these different roles and hats that I wear. And what I see time and time again is it feels like we're wearing all of the hats at once, which is why we don't feel like we're doing a really good, focused, present job at any one thing at any one time. So one of the biggest things that I hear working with women is the switch that they need to make between family and work. Like if we've been working all day and we've been in like coach mode or boss lady mode, or I've got a few characters, within my work life. When it's mama bear time, which is 3 o'clock when I'm picking them up, I have to switch. The phone is now in the drawer for the next 4 hours. So I can be present, connected, loving mama bear. Her job is to keep them healthy, safe, loved, nurtured. And so I schedule that. So I already know in advance who I'm going to be, and I'm not trying to be all the other roles at the same time.
You can't wear all hats at once, because otherwise it's funny that you're talking about hats, because I was in Mexico last year for my sister-in-law's wedding, and this came up as a reminder. So it's funny you're saying the hats. Literally, I got this reminder this morning. So I just thought, wait, hold on. I thought you'd get a kick out of this. Hold on. Talking about the different hats and what it's like to wear them, what it's like to wear them all at once. There you go.
That's exactly. It's perfect. I needed that exact image, because when I'm doing this presentation on stage, I literally have a big floppy mama bear one, which is very practical and very ugly, but it's sun safe.
Right.
I've got the coach one that's like this, but we have all of these beautiful parts of us, parts that can really be in the driver's seat and kick ass, a high performer. Then we need a soft nurturer. And so when I schedule ahead of time, who needs to be in the driver's seat? Is this the appropriate part of me in the driver's seat right now? And so that's been the game changer for me, feeling more balanced and more present.
I love that, because again, because we all wear so many hats, and the reality is you can't wear your business hat when you're dealing with your kids.
No.
You can't wear your mama hat when you're dealing with your husband.
Right. Unless he has the man flu.
What's that? The man flu, that's the real, okay? That's like we're at the brink of death when we got the man flu. You guys don't understand because you're not men.
But you get it. It's a perfect example, because no, he wants wifey. He doesn't want the boardroom lady. He doesn't want any other roles I play, for sure. Yeah. It's a game changer in relationships too.
Now, I think that's great to just assign the different hat to when you're doing that, when you're time blocking. Don't just time block the time, but schedule that personality. Schedule, okay, now I'm going to put on this hat. Now I'm going to take this hat off and I'm going to put on that hat. That way the two don't come together. Otherwise you look like that funky picture.
Right. You can have a lot of fun with this. I was working with a client yesterday and I'm like, you've been super productive in your work life in the past. Who's that guy? Describe him to me. And, we came up with the name of high performance. So then it's like, okay, what does he say? What does he believe? How does he stand? What does he wear? And what's his role? What's his attitude? So what would happen in business if you were to schedule him 70% of the work time? What's going to happen to your results? And this becomes very easy for us because we know this person. It's a part of us. We need to just get better at calling on the right part of us in each section of our life. So that's kind of the summary there.
No, I love it. And I think that the other important component is, don't do the things that you don't like to do. Don't do the things you don't want to do, right?
Yeah. It allows you to say no to so much. It's like, does going to this barbecue on the weekend move me closer to my top 3 1-year goals? No. Why would I even go? Oh, because I think that I need to. Why is that? Oh, to please someone. Oh, no.
Right.
No. The ability to say no is life-changing.
Yeah. And with that said, for anyone who's watching and says, well, but I like going to barbecues. Yes, do the things you want to do, but don't go anywhere just because you feel like you're obligated to.
That's right. It's
Go
very
where
different.
you want to go. Live your life, because other people's opinions don't really matter. Anyone who's watched this show knows and has heard this before. You can't pay your bills with other people's opinions, right? So live your life and just do the things that you want to do. Just because somebody asks you, don't make it an automatic yes, because for every yes you give away that is not that important, you have to say no to something that is. So yes. Listen, Linda, I know that you've got to go. So I just want to say thank you for coming on here and sharing some of your wisdom with us. And it's always great to have an Aussie accent hanging out with us.
This is a myth, Tony. We don't have the accent in Australia.
We do.
Americans do. Right. We have an American accent.
Listen, I was in London a few years ago, and somebody says, "Oh, where's your accent from?" I says, "I don't have an accent. You've got an accent."
Yes.
In London.
Confusing to people.
But you know what? You got to have fun. You got to have fun regardless of where you go. But I do love a good. I do love the language of your land, or the accent.
Fun. Aussies know how to make things fun. This country suits me well.
Listen, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right.
Right.
So
that's right.
With that said, I want to be respectful of your time, and I do appreciate you coming on here. Say hi to Patty for me, and we'll catch up another day. Next week we'll have another chat, and we'll break in a little bit more, because the one thing I had wanted to talk about was that masterpiece life, because I do have a talk on that as well, which I told you I did.
It's my passion. It really is, because everyone, you don't need money. You don't need things. You can start to live your masterpiece life right now with what you have, and be more inspired to create more of it. Absolutely. I'd love to talk more about that.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just about focusing, being grateful for what's already there, because as they say, you never know what you have until you lose it. So think about that. And here's the thing that I'll leave everyone with that's watching, and I'll probably go on for a few more minutes after that, but what would happen? What if tomorrow you would only wake up with what you're grateful for today? What would life look like? Would you have the ability to use your hands? Would you have your eyesight? Would you have your hearing? Would you be able to speak? Would you be able to eat, to taste? Would you be able to walk? Would you be able to think? Would you be able to breathe? Would you be able to kiss? Would you be able to, if you only had tomorrow what you were grateful for today, what would you be left with? So I just want to leave everyone with that. Think about that. And I just wanted to give you that. I wanted to give you that before you parted. And then I'll probably ramble on for a few more minutes for anyone who wants to.
Thank you so much for having me.
Linda, thank you. I appreciate you. And we'll talk again.
Thanks again.
All right. Ciao for now. So that was Linda. I hope you guys enjoyed her. Hey, Jay, thank you. I appreciate you watching. Thanks, Orlando, for watching as well. So yeah, it's so important to be grateful. And that's how you start to live that masterpiece life, right? That's how you start to build that masterpiece life. I'm still working on mine. I mean, my masterpiece is far from finished, but the masterpiece starts to come together when you start to appreciate all the beauty that already exists in your life. It starts to come together when you realize that even those dark spots in your life are just a piece of the masterpiece, right? Because what's a painting without, a beautiful painting has, unless it's a Rothko or something that just has like 2 tones of red or some other color. But the majority of beautiful paintings have many colors. It has dark colors, it has light colors, it has bright colors, it has, what people would consider sad colors, right? Has reds and blues and different things that can represent different emotions, much like our life. So in order to start living that masterpiece life, we just look around and think about what is it that you're grateful for? Or what could you be grateful for? What should you be grateful for? So I'm going to end it a little early today because I do want to have this masterpiece conversation. Maybe I'll have it with Linda, or maybe I'll just have it one day on its own, or maybe that'll just be a separate talk altogether. Because we are constantly creating our masterpiece. We are the artist in our life. And everything that happens around us in life becomes part of our masterpiece, right? Because a masterpiece is rarely a masterpiece when it just has, pastel colors and happy colors, so to speak. You need to have that contrast. You need to have the black, and you need to have the dark reds and dark blues and purples and browns and deep greens and bright greens and light blues and everything else. So those are the emotions. Those are the situations. Those are the part of the story that happened in our lives. So going back, so that's the masterpiece life, but going back to the pie chart that Linda was talking about, just think about that. Maybe you can create your own pie chart today. Just draw a circle and put in those 6 slices, or 7 if you like. Put in those 6 or 7 slices, or 8, however many you would like to focus on. But sometimes, the more there are, the harder it is. But create that wheel. And I'm just going to shade this in real quick in no particular order, just to show you guys what I was talking about before. Right? If you have, your wheel, and you shade it in, and it's not perfectly, it's not round, which rarely are people's circles going to be round, right? So those are some of my notes, but rarely are they going to be round. Shade that in, and notice where some of the gaps are, and start working on some of those gaps, because if you want to have that life of peace and tranquility, or excitement, or you want to have that life that you want to consider that masterpiece, or that quote unquote perfect life. Not that there is a perfect life, because my version of perfect is very different than someone else's. So there is perfection, as Tony Robbins says, is the lowest standard that you can try to achieve, because there is no such thing as perfect. So, at some point you'll say, well, it can never be perfect, so why am I going to bother? And most people stop there. So when you realize that we're in control of so many parts of our life, even when you're not in control of something, you're in control of how you react to it. And that's certainly something that I'm working on, by the way. I don't pretend to stand on here and say that I'm perfect at that, because I do overreact to things, or sometimes I underreact, or I don't know if there's a way of saying that. But sometimes we're not necessarily, not sometimes, a lot of times we're not in control of what's happening. We can only be in control of how we respond and how we react. Matter of fact, it's best not to react. It's better to stop and respond than to react. But we're in control in a lot of those things in our life, and how we're responding or reacting to it. So pay attention to those gaps, so that you can try to make that wheel of life a little smoother. And as the wheel starts to become a little smoother, everything starts to expand. Everything starts to get easier. And just know that there's going to be bumps in the road, and there's going to be a bump that, bam, will knock a chunk off of that wheel, off of that slice, and you're going to have to go and rebuild it. Because if you don't, that wheel will spin, and it'll keep breaking off chunks of what is good in your life. So make sure you pay attention to the things that aren't, and try to make the repair, try to fix that, or replace it, or whatever it is that you need to do. With that said, my friends, I'm going to cut this one a little bit shorter today. Just want to just say thank you for joining me again. Again, I did have a 2-week hiatus. Many people are probably wondering where I went, but I was out there just improving myself, so I can come and deliver more value and more content to you. Actually, I was taking a certification to be a business specialist, so a trainer in business strategy. So I help people turn their businesses around. Right, the whole Get Up and Grow name, Get Up and Grow, works for your life. You can get up and grow your life. You can get up and grow your relationship, and certainly you can get up and grow your business. And one of the ways that you can impact not just one life, but many lives, is by helping people expand their business, grow their business, recover their business, scale their business. So just like I'm all about helping people get up and grow through what they go through, so that they can live a happier, better life. In business, it's about helping good people make more money so they can do more good. And that really is the name of the game, because we're all here and we all have the opportunity to do good. Because in life, life isn't necessarily about what you acquire, how much money you get, but it's about all the impact that you can make and the good that you can do. And we all have the opportunity to do that. And I encourage everyone to do good. Be kind, share a smile. And just by doing that,